Today's stage, 198 kilometres, starting from Aulnay-sur-Mer and taking the race out of the Vendée and into Brittany. The intermediate sprint is pretty much slap bang in the middle of the stage at Saint-Hilaire-de-Châlillon after 104 kilometres. And there's actually a fourth category climb in the form of the Saint-Nazaire Bridge as the race crosses the Loire into Brittany. There'll be a breakaway, no doubt, but there's no doubt either that it'll be reeled in and we'll see the first bunch sprint of this year's race.
Two things about rivers, well, as it pertains to us anyway. They're always at the bottom of things and they've got to be crossed. Yeah, it's not often that a watercourse gets to influence a bike race, but today, this is the only thing that could upset the sprinters. The riders are going to come tearing down out of the surrounding countryside and fly across that bridge there, and they're going to have to brake very, very sharply because there's an immediate right-hand turn that brings them out on the banks of the Vilaine. That corner is really going to string things out, which the sprinters teams absolutely love. However, as they pull away from the water's edge, they're going to hit this small ramp. It's only 250 metres long, but unless the lead-out men time it perfectly, the peloton is going to bunch up, and that'll offer an opportunity for maybe someone to attack from the back or see one of the favourites get swamped. The chances are, though, the vast majority are going to pass that small test and make it here to the flag to contest the first mad dash of the 2011 race. So, this is it. Mark Cavendish's first chance for victory and finally an opportunity to score some much-needed green jersey points. And I, for one, don't think it's an opportunity that he is going to let go to waste.
As we look now, there it is, 10 kilometres to go. You've got to take your hat off to Jose Ivan Gutierrez, who's the strong man here of the tandem, but Mikel Delarge helps him whenever he can. And they're going into the last 10K, 12 seconds to the good.
The guys in the peloton, they can see they can almost reach out and touch them, and still they're allowing them there to stew. The American rider, Tyler Farrer, is somewhere, it's locked in the main field, while there's action at the front end of the peloton and the back.
Yes, they're trying to shake up the changes at the front. But Gutierrez just refuses to say enough is enough. Whatever happens now, he will have spent over 170 kilometres at the head of this race today. It's amazing.
I tell you one thing, Phil, I'm not sure if you noticed, he just blew a kiss to the camera there. I think he's enjoyed his day at the front end of the Tour de France, but there, that's less than 10 seconds. It's pretty much all but over. Let's have a quick look once again.
Yeah, well, I think it was to you, that ball. Anyway, down amongst the trees, yes, we dropped below. There's the catch. Well done to those two. That really made the peloton sort itself out. And now we are all together, apart from one or two off the back today, so the sprinters now know that they are about to have their day.
Well, all I can say now, Phil, is get your seatbelt on, sit back in the saddle and enjoy this. Keep your eyes down because we are looking for a rapid sprint.
As we're now hitting just on 70 kilometres now, about 42 miles an hour, that'll do. Right now, they'll go faster than that as they approach the finish. Just trying to see if I can see the face there, the Pataki behind the boys in mauve. I can't quite see him there at the moment, but certainly I can see Mark Cavendish in and out the action. So they all come together here once again.
Well, the guys in the white jerseys, HTC High Road. On the front, it's Peter Velets, followed by Bernie Eisel, followed by Matty Goss of Australia, followed by Mark Renshaw of Australia, followed by Mark Cavendish. They are playing the waiting game. They're waiting for the time when they need to accelerate and stretch out the main field, but they're still looking very well organised. Just watch the last rider in the white jersey there. That's Mark Cavendish, and look at the riders behind battling to try and get into his slipstream.
The white jerseys there are Team Garmin Cervelo as well. Two sprinters on their squad. The race leader, Thor Hushovd, you can easily pick him out in yellow. But also Tyler Farrer is coming into the mix as well right now. So too is the team of Andre Greipel, who is a rival of Mark Cavendish. They were friends this time last year. Well, they weren't really. That's why he left the team. And now he's a sprinter in his own right. And it looks as though it's the Saxo Bank Sungard squad who are also driving this race to the finish to keep Contador up here and hopefully out of trouble.
Well, that's Matteo Tossato doing that lead-out. In the past, he used to do that lead-out for riders like Tom Bonan or even for Alessandro Pataki.
Well, we're not far away now. We are approximately 2 kilometres, maybe 1.5 from entering the department of Brittany. Bernie Eisel here. just swings off. Tony Martin is, what are you doing? I'll keep going.
Well, Tony Martin is sitting on the front now for HTC High Road in the white jersey. Look at the concentration on the faces of these riders from HTC High Road. The second rider, Matthew Goss. Third rider, Mark Renshaw, the fastest lead-out man in the business, followed by Mark Cavendish. There he is in the dark glasses. The lime green bike behind him is the possession of Alessandro Patacchi. He knows which wheel he wants to follow.
Well, they're all trying to get their own trains organised here. HTC are organised, but they're running out of riders, and they're still 3.5 kilometres from the finishing line. So they're going to have to do long turns at the front. I think that's why Tony Martin wondered why Bernie Eisel swung off quite so early. A sharp right-hander coming up, crucial.
This is the one at 3 kilometres to go. Everybody at the front end of the pack is round nice and safely. This is the Quai Saint-Jacques. Now they start to wind themselves up. They're going to go along the river for a while before swinging over to the left-hand side. If any man on HTC High Road can do a long turn at the front, it is Tony Martin. He's a great individual time trialist. He's getting himself into the zone right now, not thinking about his own position on a stage like this afternoon, but keeping it up close to 40 miles an hour to make sure that Mark Cavendish, sitting in 4th position there, does not get boxed in and swamped.
Martin, Goss, Renshaw, Cavendish is the order on the front. They've got 3 men to take them the last 2 and bit kilometres to the finish. Hushoff is in there too. Tyler Farrer is on Hushoff's wheel and would be a great lead out if Hushoff could give it to him. Also in there, I've noticed now coming up too, are the riders of Alessandro Patacchi and also, of course, Andrei Greipel, all trying to get a little bit of space.
But to be a sprinter, to win a sprint, you've got to play a waiting game. Looks as if Tony Martin now has disappeared from the front. He's lost that little bit of energy. It's up now to Matty Goss. Big acceleration coming across. It looks like it's a rider from Vacansoleil, has seen the move coming from Lampre.
He's tried to launch an attack at the moment. This is a typical move, as if Pavel Bruch has made the move here. I think, in fact, it could well be a very, very shrewd move. This, I would think, is Boris Bosic, who we've seen win already this year. This is an absolute typical move by this man if he can do it. There aren't many strong men can ride away from a peloton so close to the finish.
When you're in a great team of sprinters, you've got to stay calm. When you see the moves going like this, you've got to just make sure that you slowly continue with the plan that you've got in mind, and that's exactly what Matthew Goss is doing. Matty Goss is just sitting there. He's judging his effort on the rider from Vacansoleil, waiting to keep himself at the front end of the pack. Cavendish has let the gap go. There's a problem, I think.
Well, that's what I was wondering, because there were so many riders and they were running out of firepower there on the run into the finish. We're only just over a mile out now as they try to reorganise themselves as they race towards the finish now. I think this is Boric who's tried to go Bosic, but in any case, he's going to be back in the pack. And they're getting themselves organised. Renshaw, solid as a rock, is still locked there in front of Mark Cavendish.
Well, the blue helmets on the shoulders, on the heads of the riders from Garmin Cervelo, and they're looking over the It's a bit of panic on board Team HTC High Road. Now, inside of 1 kilometre to go, Cavendish has slipped down to about 7th or 8th position. His team is a little bit in pieces as we start to try to get the organisation going again.
If Cavendish has slipped and lost the wheel, he's going to have to reposition himself in the next 900 metres, because Garmin Cervelo, who won the team time trial yesterday, are all of a sudden on the front. That looks to me as though it's Geraint Thomas who has gone round the race there for Sky in the white jersey. And is this going to be a runaway for the Welshman? Because now is the launch, and the maillot jaune is Thor Hushoff. He's got tucked in the slipstream there. Tyler Farrer and Mark Cavendish has disappeared from our screen as Thor Hushoff now launches for the finish.
Well, Hushoff is going round the corner. Tyler Farrer is in 3rd position, right onto his wheel. It's Romain Feluba. Jose Rojas is coming up too.
Rojas is going, but this is going to be Tyler Farrer big moment. First Tour de France, he's going to have to hold off Rojas. He raced for the line. It is desperately close, but Tyler Farrer gets it on the line. Garmin Cervelo cannot do a thing wrong, but the question mark is, what happened to Mark Cavendish? But the American gets his first ever stage win in a Tour de France.
And touching to see Tyler Farrer forming a W as he crossed the line in tribute to his friend Wouter Waylands, who died in a crash during this year's Giro d'Italia. There's the result. Farrer from a fast-closing Romain Feyou, Jose Joaquin Rojas 3rd, and that 3rd place will be enough for him to take the green jersey. Mark Cavendish 5th, ahead of Farrer's lead-out men Too Hushovd and Julian Dean.
Oh, it's incredible. You know, I've been chasing this one for a long time, so to finally get it means so much. The 4th of July makes it even better. The guys I couldn't have asked for a more perfect run. I mean, you have the yellow jersey / world champion leading you out. It's incredible. I can't ask for more, and I'm really happy I was able to finish the job off.
So Turusoft will carry the yellow jersey into stage 4, a pretty successful day for him.